I'm learning in my own theory, and I'm not taking away from any of your guys'
No.
perspectives, but in the way my brain has learned to work, and I thank Dolores Cannon for that trigger, is I don't even want to say past lives anymore, even though I catch myself saying it, because I really feel like we are all the same consciousness experiencing it from a different perspective.
Yeah.
And so I believe that things are, when we consciously have those gut feelings, like we know each other from maybe, Haiti or, whatever, like, or I feel like when I meet people, I know what place in history or time or era or world I may know them from. I feel like it's more of a, not a past life, but a parallel, because maybe we're all just like side by side experiencing everything all at once, but we're just for that inkling, like right now, this inkling and this here and now inkling I'm experiencing sitting here with you guys having this conversation. But at the same time, if I were to take my awareness away from here and put my awareness somewhere else, I would be experiencing somewhere in another timeline, which is why I feel so familiar to the Pirates or so familiar to New Orleans. If I could do a better job at changing my awareness to there and not just the here and now, it could be so magical. And I guess that's what happens when we're in, deep states of hypnosis, or, that different state of brainwave when we are taken back into what we are calling past lives. Is we're just awake in another awareness.
I would argue that that's what I was doing as a child when I was astroplaning, when I was doing the breath work, and like I would say that's exactly what. Yeah,
you were awake
for
in
sure,
another
for sure. I was just going back to you saying that time point or that parallel. I would just because what I felt like going there, I was just a ball of energy, like a floating white ball of energy, but I could see everything in front of me. So what you're saying in going up there, the awareness, shifting my awareness from where I was in that exact moment to where I was, like, yeah, you explained it very well.
Maybe that's the key to telekinesis or any other gift, is shifting our awareness to being a part of it instead of separate from it.
I agree. I think that's why I was doing that. The breathing and all of that was to kind of control the body and remove me from the so focused in this consciousness. Because the best way I could explain it is, when you see that art where they keep zooming in and they keep zooming in and they keep zooming in and keep zooming. That's what it felt like I was doing, but in reverse. So essentially going to it, it creates an extreme amount of anxiety, like ridiculous anxiety that I could never experienced on this earth. And I've had bad anxiety, but not like a detrimental anxiety, like being on the edge, like you're about to fall off almost. That's like the best way to describe it. But that going up to that, like you're saying, shifting the awareness. I was just doing it innately by spirit, but yeah, it's we're so caught up in our day-to-day lives and what's in front of us. It's probably hard for us to get to that state, to do that, to even focus, to work on our telepathic abilities or anything.
So everything then boils down to literally, not even figuratively, everything literally boils down to perspective.
Yeah.
Because self-awareness boils down to our perspective of ourselves. Consciousness boils down to perspective of where we're seeing it from. The here and now, wherever we're aware at in that moment, wherever our perspective is. Like, so literally, if you boil everything down as perspective, even if we were to supposedly pass over, we're now, our conscious perspective is now aware of another awareness.
Mhm.
Like, it's
the ultimate awareness. We all go back to.
Say that, Matt?
The ultimate awareness we all go back to. It's just it's the.
But are we really not there?
It's
we're never
there.
not there. We're not aware of it.
Yeah, we
that's
go.
That's what. That's exactly what I'm starting to see. Is it's just there? It's because clearly I went there in this life, so that means it must always be there. And I came back to this one, right? So that would further anchor that for sure. Absolutely.
So that should take away any of our fear of death. That should take away the ultimate fear. All of our boil down to the lowest common denominator. The lowest common denominator is always fear of death, fear of dying,
absolutely.
fear of not. Absolutely. So if we know it's just changing perspective, then
It's
why
just going
should we
back.
fear it?
Yeah.
It's just going back home. It's just going back home.
That's, you know, I got that, and that gave me a lot of solace and peace and understanding death, because as a child I used to be scared of it, but I understood that no, you're just
Me too.
making your return. You're going back to your
Yep.
highest form. You've
Yeah.
you've superseded the physical.
Like,
There's so much limitation with the physical, the flesh. None of that is there in
But
those other
that
dimensions.
we're here experiencing it because maybe there's more to it than we,
That's
because
yes.
maybe,
Yeah.
you know what I
You
mean?
come
Like,
down for the experience. You come here for the experience to learn
yeah,
without a
yeah,
doubt. That's why there's love
yeah.
and there's
You,
pain. That's why there's the
and
balance and contrast.